AP and you, rise Guyana shine. Together we build, now is the time. With Aubrey strong and heart so true, we're rising up. It's me and you, vote AP and you. For justice care, for every family everywhere. For jobs, for schools, for brighter days. For youth and elders, better ways. Who you voting for? Who gon' lift you more? Who gon' care for all? Stand up tall and vote. AP and you, go, 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 go. AP and you, go, 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 go. AP and you, go, 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 go. AP and you. AP and you, rise Guyana shine. Together we build, now is the time. With Aubrey strong and heart so true, we're rising up. It's me and you, vote AP and you. For justice care, for every family everywhere. For jobs, for schools, for brighter days. For youth and elders, better ways. Who you voting for? Who gon' lift you more? Who gon' care for all? Stand up tall and vote. AP and you, go, 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 go. AP and you, go, 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 go. AP and you, go, 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 go. AP and you. AP and you, rise Guyana shine. Together we build, now is the time. With Aubrey strong and heart so true, we're rising up. It's me and you, vote AP and you. For justice care, for every family everywhere. For jobs, for schools, for brighter days. For youth and elders, better ways. Who you voting for? Who gon' lift you more?
Now where I feel comfortable, and so without any further ado, we will get started this evening. I want you to convey a message from me, please. Tell Jack Dio take his hands out of my pocket. I need a messenger. Tell Jack Dio take his hands out of my pocket. And tell Ali, I'm not sure if he's the president because I didn't see his name as a president. Tell him I say it is time to remove the curse. Parfaite, I can't hear you. It is time to remove the curse. And who will be removing that curse? The APNU will be removing that curse. Come on, palms up for me. Parfaite Harmonie, why not put your palms up? Let them all see what we will be voting for on September 1. Listen to me. You know, once you see me, I'm a principled person. You know, once you see me, I mean business. You know, once you see me, you know good things are in store for you, Parfaite. So we are here tonight, and we will be igniting a fire. We will be igniting sparks, Parfaite Harmonie. But this can only be possible if you make the right choice by placing your mark next to the palm. Next to the palm comes September 1. It is time for a political revolution. You don't hear me, Parfaite? Come on, Parfaite. It is time for a political revolution. And this man will set the tone of ambition because he aims in putting people first. Come on, Parfaite. This man aims in putting you first. He aims in putting your family first. He aims in putting your children first. And certainly, he will be putting me first. So tonight, we will be hearing from some key speakers. These speakers are Dr. Dexter Todd, Michael Richmond, Ganesh Mahipal, Coretta McDonald, and the leader, Aubrey Norton. Without any further ado, we are at home, and I am pleased to introduce to you our first speaker for tonight. He is a new candidate, and he is one of our homies. I said he is one of our homies. This young man just not only has a passion to serve, but he has dedicated his life to the youths, to their dreams and their success. He has participated in youth parliament, and he is one of the young candidates of the APNU. Where others saw trouble, this young man saw opportunity. He was honored as one of Guyana's men of influence, and he is celebrated for his success, his vision, and his drive. Please help me welcome tonight our first speaker, none other than Michael Richmond.
Good night, Parfaite. Good night, home. The first thing I want to say is that Miss Gentle said the word opportunity. And I must commend her for that word, because outside of that word, I'm not just here for opportunity, but I'm here because I see purpose. And not only purpose, but I'm here because I've seen how the people of Guyana are not just suffering, but I see how our youths are being victimized. So before I start, I just want to say one of the most, saddest moment for me was seeing my daughter falling ill. And me being from this community, it was really sad, it was sad affairs to see that in Parfaite, we don't have a proper medical institution. Parfaite Harmonie is not just a growing community, but this is one of Guyana's largest, if not the largest housing scheme in Guyana. And to see the blatant neglect that our people face in this community. I remember from 2015 to 2020, we could have easily walked through our streets at any time of the night and know that we had good light. From 2015 to 2020, we know that we could have lined on our streets, and we don't have to study if anybody is going to come right there and rob us. But now, from 2020 to 2025, the dark time has returned, or have returned. And we don't even need to look far. We can look right up the road and see the lack of lights. We can look through the streets and see how our communities is basically backed by what the government like, which is blackout. So I say this to say, September 1st is the day, because for Guyana to grow, the PPP must go. The PPP must go. We have a visionary leader. We have a man with a very clean slate. A man that they can't say nothing about. That means got nothing funny. His name is Mr. Aubrey Norton. we have a young lady who they can't say nothing about. And I just want to stretch on the fact that she's a young lady, but I want to stretch on the fact that she's an indigenous young lady. Her name is Coretta Fernandez, hailing all the way from Bartica. So when they say that APNU is a racial party, we continue to show them that they're just contradicting themselves. Let me show you, for example, how I know the PPP is such a corrupt regime. At one point, Anil never liked Irfan, and Irfan never liked Anil to become president. But yet still, these is the people that looking Guyanese in their face and telling them that they're concerned about the well-being of our people. They're concerned about the well-being of our young men and our young women. When just a few weeks ago, a young man was shot behind in Stanley Town. Shot behind. And because they don't have a record or they don't have nothing against this young man, he was labeled as a rapist. And these are the harsh reality that we have to face in our communities and that we have to face in our country as a whole. So, Parfaite Harmonie, I stand there tonight to tell you that enough is enough. For Guyana to grow, the PPP must go. And I don't want this message just be fetched or just be stagnated in Parfaite Harmonie, because there's people who look at us from across the diaspora, from region 1 to region 10. And I want to tell you that we see the problem that you face wherever you are. I see Ananda come on the news just a few days ago, and the brother said it is basically wrong for us to attach the extrajudicial killings to the PPPC government. But Parfaite Harmonie, I stand there to say, in 2050 to 2020, we've seen the record of perhaps the lowest form of murder or crime rates within Guyana history. Again, I must say, in 2020 to 2025, here comes the dark days again in Guyana. To start it off in 2020, we must look at the Henry Boys and Harry Singh from Borbis. To continue it, we look at Quindon Bacchus, we look at Orange Boston. And above all, just recently, right here in the Region 3, right at Tushin, we must look at Adriana Young. We are never going to forget her name, because to this day, there is no justice. To this day, we have no justice for young Ganesh. But right now, what we have is a government who is positioning themselves to rig this election. But Parfaite, I say, we ain't taking that this time around. We see what I'm doing. We see them going into the courts and they're putting in some of the friends and the family and the favorites in positions. Again, the son Michael, he was a boy never frightened for call name. But I can call just one of them, one of the most racial person I've met in my life. Y'all really want to call the name? because of the condition of the hospital. And I am ashamed to say that this is the region where a so-called excellency, Irfan Ali, is from. This is the region where the man that claimed he got a degree from University of Iflat is from. And you know what's the funniest thing about the University of Iflat? When you go to Iflat, you can't find a university. And number two, the people in Iflat don't even like the man. We have a leader, Mr. Aubrey, come to Norton, who is going to ensure that the oil wealth is in every Guyanese pocket. I am so happy. You see, sometimes DPI is a very funny entity because sometimes they want to criticize our leader, but in the midst of criticizing, I like for them to bring out the facts. Yesterday, I saw an article that said Guyana is on the verge or now producing 990,000 barrels of oil daily. Well, comrades, I don't understand why the cost of living is this crazy in Guyana, where we're producing all of the oil on a daily basis. Guyana doesn't even have 990,000 people, which means that each one of us here could get not only a million, but we could get a barrel of oil in this economy. But no, this man not give you the oil. They not give you the oil at time. Why they not give you the oil? Because they need each and every one of us to be dependent. So when they have fun and the rest of boys walk in the community, they're going to say, oh man, Mr. Minister, we gotta do this, and then they're going to come and they're going to throw the leg cash grant at me. It is very demoralizing to see how our elderly people were treated at Parfaite Harmonie Secondary School, standing in lines, sweating out themselves, working all of those years prior to contribute to build this economy. But yet, still to collect a little 1,000 cash grant, they were stressed out. Some people fainted in the lines. And this is what we call development. This money is not air fund money. This money is not Jack Deere money. And again, I must commend Isabel Chung. That was a young lady from Vice News that highlighted how corrupt our nation is. But Guyana, I tell you, there should be a slap in the face because nobody should get an international accolade showing cases how corrupt the world's fastest or the world's fastest growing economy is. And this is the reality that we face here in Guyana. Our parents are so afraid now to allow our young boys and young girls to go to the communities. They are afraid now. We have young men who is parading the streets of Guyana who think they got control of everybody. For example, we can look at Mr. Amir Ahmad. We can look at the sheriff guy who look as though he's up on coke, walking around abusing our young males. And it is funny because they say that this election is not about racism. But everybody that Mr. Amir Ahmad is using to push his joking narrative is black people. But yet still, we have our young black brothers who is going to be easily convinced because they're getting a little 100,000 or they're getting a little semi-contract. But I'm here to tell you, Parfaite, under the stewardship of Aubrey Compton Norton, we're going to make sure that unemployment is at its all-time low. We're going to make sure that our boys who play sports, they may not study, they gotta go to school, and then they got a company for a car and sell, or they gotta go to super bet for try to get money for go and play sports. We're gonna make sure that we put systems in place that every month our athletes will benefit under this government. We're going to put in place measures that are going to tackle the Guyana police force, who we all think should serve and protect. But we know there's a hidden agenda being peddled by the PPPC government. Parfaite Harmonie, I stand there today to tell you that enough is enough. For Guyana to grow, the PPP must go. Let me show you how far and how divided we are as a country. And you see, PR is a very important thing. And I must commend our PR person at the Congress Place because they do a good job. On August the 4th, a day that we celebrate the hardship of our African brothers and our African sisters. A day that we celebrate the abandoning of slavery. A day that we remember our forefathers and our foremothers. But instead, on the morning of Emancipation Day, we see His Excellency stand up with 3 individuals that does not depict African people. We are also seeing one of our most historical sites being the parade ground. The Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport and the little boy named Charles Ramson parading himself and trying to drop the standard of what the parade ground really is in Guyana. And there's the problem with this government. It's because they are trying to erase the history of not only the PNCR, but they are trying to erase the history of what the African stands for in Guyana. Look at the Critchlow Labour College, a very historical site in the history of Guyana. Set ablaze twice in less than 6 months, Mr. Todd. Again, I love the APNU because we are a diverse team. We have a brother with us here that fights to the end for justice. Our brother with us here that goes to the end of the earth to ensure that our young boys and our young girls are safe. Just last week, Sunday, or the week before, Mr. Todd, he was in the Namstel, or was I flat? The Namstel. When they bring and they come in my yard and bringing the PPP thing in the Marcy, don't want them there. They go to the police force and they bring the police ranks to arrest the man for his basic rights. Parfaite Harmonie, I like the fact that I mentioned the word basic rights because on June 27, 2025, the president stood at Crane and he said Parfaite Harmonie is going to receive treated water. They invest in a water plant in Lost in Ross, Parfaite Harmonie. But guess what? We ain't getting treated water. Some days we ain't even getting water. And when we do get water, Parfaite Harmonie, it does look like the color of the thing why I like drink. Mr. Todd, I like drink swang bad. You know, it's look brown. So Parfaite Harmonie, again, as I prepare to take my leave, I must say on September the 4th, vote for the palm. That's the first thing we're going to see. Put y'all X's neat and nice in the box and y'all vote for the palm. Because Parfaite Harmonie and also to Guyana from region 1 to region 10. For Guyana to grow, the PPP must go. Thank you very much.
You didn't hear that. For Guyana to grow. Parfaite Harmonie. For Guyana to grow. Not some of them, but all of them. They must go. If you ask me about the PPP, and if I am to add the C, they are dirty, deadly, disrespectful, and dangerous. Parfaite, you heard me? PPP, they are dirty, deadly, dangerous and disrespectful. And if I am to bring in the sea, they are corrupt with an echo. I was appalled on the 1st of August when Priya Manikchan, who is supposed to be the Minister of Education, said our ancestors. Priya, who is our? Priya, who is our ancestors? Our ancestors. It wasn't Indian arrival day. Coming to speak to us is a very young man. But let me tell you this before he comes. Jack Dio in his press conference yesterday said a couple of things. He said the police officers serve with distinction. They have no blemish. Region 3, Jack Dio said police officers serve with distinction. They have no blemish. But Mandala, y'all hearing me? The Commander Mandala divulged inaccurate information about the Adriana Young case. You not hearing me? He said the police officers are serving without any blemish. Yet still, him not is listed as one of the drug traffickers. Y'all know who's him not? He was the commander in charge of Region 1. Yet still, this corrupt regime said that the officers serve with distinction. Well, if you're saying your commander, who's now deemed as a drug trafficker, has served without distinction, then something is wrong with Guyana. So, Parfaite, for Guyana to grow, PPP must go. For Guyana to grow, PPP must go. Tonight, I want to introduce to you a man. This is not no ordinary man. He's not a man that Mary found at the well, but this man here is a very brilliant man with a credible doctorate. This man is a force of truth, justice, and he has an unshaken vision. He hails from the Vridu-Port area. This man is a defender of the people and a warrior of democracy. He has a bold voice against corruption. He moves smoothly and swiftly from the courtrooms to the grounds to walk and defend the people of Guyana. This man is fearless of the naysayers, and he is no other than Dr. Dexter Todd.
Parfaite, good evening, good evening, good evening. Tonight, I bring you a very simple message. I know many times we make a lot of noise. Some noise is good. But I want you to listen to me very attentively. For years, and particularly the young people, for years you have been made to believe that your vote is not important. And I felt led a few days ago to start a series by reminding you of your very important role. The Constitution of Guyana gives you the power, and that power allows you to select or elect your representatives. It is your representatives that you will elect that will, of course, map out and make certain decisions which will direct and impact your life. So your vote is important. I have, of course, related your vote, and I have broken it down for you to understand that you have always been the employer of the government. The government remains your employees. Now, it is expected that when you have a leader must be one that sets the example. And many have asked me this one very important question. They have asked me, do I see a leader in Barajagdio? And I said, I have never been impressed with Barajagdio. That man is not a leader. That man believes that he is Lord. That man believes that he is powerful. That man believes that he is such a dictator that whenever he says that you must run and jump, you must run and jump. This man is such an embarrassment to this country. Just a few days ago, we sat and we listened to him. Well, people sat and listened to him, not me. But some people sent me a clip of him talking about an overseas Guyanese, about the derogatory names that this man has been using, and saying what an insult about the names that the man has been using against various PPPC activists. And I said, but this man really this man believes that we have such a shallow memory that we don't remember what he has been doing and what he has been saying. So I played the clip of the man saying, this rat saying that we have stupid people in this country. It is this same man that has been calling other persons slack bokta and all sorts of foolish names. This man has never set the example as a leader. And because he has not set and has never set the example as a leader, that is why we continue to have a society that is decaying. Now you ask me, what has this man done leading a government? What have they done for the safety of you and I as citizens of this country? They have sat by for years and they have very intently continued to politicize the Guyana police force so that the police force only carries out the functions of the PPPC. Now you can tell me you have an Attorney General, Anil Nandalal. This Attorney General did not give back the books. So he has the law books. And not once did he stop to say to the Guyana police force, there are laws and order in this country which must be followed out. Could you imagine? I thought with the Orange Boston's incident, the police have absolutely no power to break into your homes and come to effect an arrest without a proper warrant. Right across this country of Guyana, the police force failed to follow the law, and they have been entering into people's private homes on their private property, and they continue to carry out all sorts of unlawful acts. Many of those acts we have seen that those acts have reduced into murders. Those acts have reduced into what we considered to be extrajudicial killings. So if you ask the question, Barrett Jactio has been saying that the APNU is driving on this extrajudicial killing. Ladies and gentlemen, when the safety of our people in this country becomes, and it has become a great issue, you cannot be silent on it. You have a police force that is not carrying out their function, which is to serve and to protect. Look at every single incident that has happened in this country. We start with the Henry boys. We start with Harris Singh. We start with Orrin Boston. We start with Quinton Bacchus. We start with Adriana Young. You look at the trend, ladies and gentlemen, and wonderful members of Parfaite Harmonie. Every time people had to come out on the streets so as to get justice. That is because there is no confidence. There is no trust. There is no integrity that is placed in a police force that continues to decay. Then the Barrett Jactio jumps on his program to say that these men and women who are in the force and who have encouraged this type of behavior are good men. I don't want you to get me wrong. They are good policemen and women. And for those, we will celebrate them. We will encourage them. And we will tell them, go ahead and do your work. But in the same vein, there are some rats in the police force. And they are certain police who intend on not following the law, but only following political directions. And it is for those reasons they have continued to make the image of the force one that we are not proud of. That is a problem. You ask me the solution, and I will give you the solution. The solution is, under the APNU government, there will be a complete reformation of the force, a complete change of the leadership of the force. That will, the policemen and women will again get an opportunity to follow the law. So what APNU will do, we will depoliticize the police force. We will not give any more opportunity for the police force to continue to do things which are, of course, not beneficial for our men and women of this country. All those unsolved murders. I know we mentioned a lot about the Adriana Young matter, but let me tell you something, and I want you to listen to this very attentively. The Adriana's matter is only an escalation of what has been going on in this society. It is only an escalation of what has been going on in the police force. And I tell you, under the APNU government, come September 2nd, after our election on September 1st, you will begin to see that there is going to be serious steps put in place to ensure an inquiry is going to be done, which will solve and give answers to all those unsolved murders, all of them, every one of them. Now, young people, I want you to understand that this is not a time for you to begin to say, I am going to run after those who have little crumbs to give me, who are sharing a little money. Those things are not sustainable. And this is, some people have asked real questions. They have said that other parties are giving money. What is APNU bringing to the table? And I said to many people, APNU brings to the table an opportunity for you to live, not for you to survive, for you to live. There is a fundamental difference between living and surviving. And that is what the PPPC has been doing for many years. Allowing our people to survive, meaning they're giving you little crumbs. You know how many people who have been given contracts. I know people who have been given contracts to clean drains, people who have been given contracts to do little roads, people who have been given contracts to do sanitation. And let me tell you something. Each and every one of them have a story behind it. Because whatever money was given, they never received all of that. They got to pay Tom, they got to pay Harry, they got to pay a whole line of persons who has helped them to get those contracts. So sometimes all they end up with is $200,000 and $300,000 in their pocket. That is corruption. And that corruption will not continue under the APNU. I can say to you, the APNU is not against contracts, but the APNU is going to give contracts in a very structured way, which means if you don't have the skill, we will ensure that you are trained, you are given the necessary skills, so that when you conduct and perform that job, you are going to do it with quality. Look at the wastage. The statistics have shown that there has been more wastage under the PPPC more than any other time. Over 50% of wastage under the PPPC, which means that if they give out $20 million contract, over $10 million is wasted. Either $10 million gone to corruption or $10 million gone into somebody's pocket, which had nothing to do with the contract. So we are not getting value for our money. You ask me, where is the evidence of that? And I keep saying, look at the quality of what the PPPC has been billing. And you will see that they, for the 5 years, they have not built one project, has not been one of quality. Every single one of them has problems. Look at the roads. Look at the roads. Hero Highway. Look at the amount of money spent on the Heroes Highway. Heroes Highway is under construction now. Big chunks of that road is broken. And that is because we continue to have substandard work. And I'm telling you, like I have said to each and every person, there is nothing like free money. You still have to pay that back. When I check, we have been borrowing over $5 billion US. That is what we have to pay back. Which means you have to pay that back with your tax money. Your children will have to pay that back. Your children's children will have to pay that back. And some will go to your children's children's children. The question is not borrowing. The question is asked, do I have quality for any project that was done with that money? And I'm telling you, it's complete wastage. You want a government that is responsible. You have heard us spoke about our leader on every single meeting, and that is because we are proud of him. There is absolutely no leader in this race that can match a Compton Aubrey Norton. None of them. None of them. He is quality. You can attest for every single word that comes out of his mouth has back-ends. He can speak. He is intelligent. He has the wealth of experience to lead this country. We are tired of immature leaders. And that is what the PPP has. The PPP has immature leaders. They're petty. That's what I mean. They're petty, man. And more importantly, if you're not PPP, you ain't getting nothing from them. You ain't getting nothing from them. The minute you go to get something, they got to make sure they try to convert you over to a PPP. Look at the 10 days workers. You got to put on the jersey. If you don't put on the jersey, you don't draw in the money. Look at it. Look at it, and everything. They have reduced everything into a photo op. Look at the Thursdays and other days of the week. Young black men, when they want to do a little project, they got to go at Freedom House. And when they go at Freedom House, they got to take out a picture with Barry Jackio. Why? Because they have a particular narrative. And that narrative is to try to mess with our mind, so that you can see that they are an inclusive government, but they're not. They're not. They don't respect us. They don't respect you. If they had respected us, I am telling you, the service in this country would have been different. But they don't. They're not interested in service. They are interested in only one thing, and that is getting rich off of our backs. But come September 1st, that will be the end of the PPPC. Because let me tell you something. It's not only a slogan. There is real meaning to it. If Guyana wants to be fruitful, if you want, because you're Guyana, I am Guyana. If we want to absolutely see the beauty of this country, we got to let the PPP go. The PPP is danger for Guyana. Danger for Guyana. The last thing I want to leave with you. This entire country remains under threat. Under threat under the PPP. Because the PPP don't care. They don't care about anything. The only they care about is selling a particular narrative. And that narrative is that we are an all-inclusive government. We are an all-inclusive party. So come over. Every single thing you have heard from the PPP's mouth, the bleeders and the activists, you fact check it. Fact check it. They are all lies. They are all lies. And they have been made with one intention, and that is to fool us. That is to fool us. I leave with you. You ask me how corrupt this government is, and I tell you, there is evidence of their corruption. And I give you one. This president, you tell me. You ask, you see, we have to learn to think for ourselves. You can't, you check, man, check any president in the world, and you compare them to Irfan Ali. You know, steady we call Barra Jack because he's the president. But check Irfan Ali. You decided that you're going to have a text conversation with a civilian, with, of course, another Guyanese, and you discussing taxes. You discussing taxes. And you come into this whole country. This is the most embarrassing thing one could see. You telling a citizen, all right, you produce your paper where you show me. You produce your paper where you send me. And he's saying, you wait, you lie, you talk. Let me hear what you say, and then I can produce. And they have us in toy. You produce, if you don't talk, I don't talk. I'm saying they're all corrupt. The laws of this country don't give the power to the president to make a decision on whether to reduce tax or not. There is a system which has to be followed, and the law is clear. You're coming from the finance minister, you come right down, that has to go to the National Assembly, and when that order is passed and gazetted, etc., the people at customs must follow that. But you see in this, and you must ask yourself, do we have a system under the PPPC in which there is equality? Tell me which one of you can pick up your phone right now and you want to bring in a big fancy vehicle and you can text the president and tell him, hey, me want to pay all this tax on this thing. I want to pay. You tell me which one of you can pick up your phone and do that. And that there, ladies and gentlemen, are very clear and important examples that you must look in your head. For you to see fairness, you must ask yourself, can I do this? And if you are unable to do it, you must know clearly that the system is right. And so when we say that the PPPC is only for friends, families, and favorite, we know what we're talking about. Because exactly every single system, you look at it. Now, some of you got small contracts, and I'm stopping now. Some of you got small contracts or had small contracts. Some of you had training. You are very good contractors, and you have training. I want you to match your training to the Guyanese critic. I want you to match that. The man has never built anything. The man ain't built a bridge. The man ain't built a house. The man ain't even built a toilet. Now you get a contract. You got experience building something. You get a contract for $2 million, and your take home is only about $200,000. This man won't build nothing. Get a contract for $800 and something million for a pump station. That we ain't see yet. That we ain't see yet. But I'm telling you, he was rewarded that. You know why he was rewarded that? Because he continues to carry the message and the narrative of the PPPC so that he may try to demonize other people. And you see, that is what he got reward. That is what he got reward. These are very live examples that we must use. We must analyze for ourselves and say to ourselves, something is right in this society. Something is right in this society. But we tell you, what is not right in this society is that the PPPC is a corrupt government. And for you, and you must understand, corruption is not corruption with their own money. If it was corruption with their own money, I wouldn't say anything about it. But it is corruption with your money, and my money. You don't get any benefit. Imagine you are running, they like to say, the fastest growing economy in the world. They built a hospital in Diamond. They built one. And they don't even have proper equipment in that hospital. A young girl, just 22 years old, just the other day, her parents and her siblings had to bury her. That girl was asthmatic. She took in, couldn't breathe. She went to that hospital, and I know the story. I know the story. No oxygen. They had one tank, and that tank was on somebody else. And an elderly man, you're correct, you know the story. And the family started to make noise. Look, the girl is panting for breath. The girl is panting for breath. You know what they did? They pulled the thing off of the elderly man that couldn't even breathe properly. They pulled the thing off of the elderly man and put it on her. And then when they put it on her, the man started to pant for breath. The man started to pant for breath. They pull it off the man. They pull it off of her. They put it. Listen to me. Listen to me. This is a tragic story. That young girl died. That young girl died. And when the family came to me, I asked them permission if I can continue to make this story public. And they've given me their permission. Every one of the siblings, they couldn't even talk the story right through. If you see the pain and tears, because she has always had the attack. But she has had worse attack than that. And she was saved. But they removed her, since they closed down the Diamond hospital and they opened this new one, they didn't fix up the thing. The sister and brother who are known to these things, they saw boxes. Imagine you open a hospital and they saw boxes there and they suspect that it could be some of the oxygen machines that they have there, but they didn't fit it up. They didn't even have people to operate it. So when we talk about service, when we talk about putting people first, These are the life things we're talking about. We're not only talking about building a building. A building can't save you. We are talking about ensuring that you have the right service and the people to perform the various functions that they are in place, because we believe that our people demand and need more. That is what people-centered government is about. And that is what we are going to be presenting to you under the APNU, under the leadership of Aubrey Norton. Every citizen's life in this country will be, you will have value, man. Value. Value. Look at the award. Look at the award for Quinton Bacchus. Look at the award. $24 million for life. We got to change that, man. We got to change that. We got to change that. Life in this country means a lot more. And we have to value life more. And it means that if we're going to value life more, we have to let the PPP go, because for Guyana to grow, the PPP was what? Shout it out. For Guyana to grow, the PPP must what? They must go. And I'm telling you, when we see the back of the PPP come September 1st, we will then be able to breathe again in this country under the APNU. So when you go out of September 1st, I want you to look for the palm. What I want you to look for? Because the palm got real plans to better your life, to better my life, to better... Let me say this last thing before I come off this stage. Let me tell you something, young people. Aunts, uncles, grandmothers, this is not only an election to think about yourself. This is an election to think about your generation. I, for the last couple of days, have been thinking a lot about what is the legacy really are we leaving for another generation. We can't leave this corrupt country to them. We can't hand over to them this corruption. We gotta fix things, man. We gotta fix things. The longevity of this country demands it. We gotta fix things. And we can only fix things under an APNU government, because they have a track record of integrity. They have a track record of treating the people fairly. They have a track record in every single area. They have a track record of showing that they are a serious government. They've always been a serious government. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening to me. And I want you, when you go on the 1st of September, I want you to reflect on all the things in this country that you are not proud about. And when you have a clear idea of the things that you are not proud about, that will lead you, because there is only one government that can restore this country in some form of dignity and integrity, and that is through the APNU government. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Put your hands together again for Dr. Dexter Todd. Parfaite Harmonie. The APNU is the change we seek. Parfaite Harmonie, APNU is a home for all. You're not hearing me. APNU is a home for all. So we welcome you. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your family. APNU welcomes all of you. APNU is about empowering citizens and enriching the livelihoods of others. Coming to speak to us now is a mighty woman. A woman who has shown a lot of strength and resilience. a woman who stood up and spoke out for children, the nation's children, and educators of Guyana. This woman was recently elected as the president of the Guyana Teachers Union. This individual has traversed from the classrooms to the hall of the parliament. She has resoundingly raised her voice in defense of our children. Her name is synonymous with strength, integrity, and action. When you see this woman, you know she's about action and movement. She has served as a general secretary in the Guyana Teachers Union. She is driven not only by mere politics, but by her passion to uplift educators and restore in our schools decent policies. So let us raise our hands, raise our voices, and welcome none other than the mighty, the phenomenal, the resilient Coretta McDonald AA.
Parfaite, Parfaite, Parfaite. Let me see how you're palming them out. Let me see how you're palming them out. Let me see how you're palming them out. It's a pleasure to be here. But I want to tell you, I ain't seen nobody smiling. And I understand why you're not smiling. Because there's nothing to smile about. And things tight. Rice gone up. Sugar gone up, plantain gone up, burro gone up, pumpkin gone up. The only thing that ain't gone up is your salaries and your living conditions. But I want to say to you tonight, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And come September 1st, we are going to put that light right where it is supposed to be. I want to say to you, friends, we had 5 years of misery, 5 years of depression, 5 years of rape and sodomizing our daughters, 5 years of teachers standing on the road for 75 days, 5 years, and we can't take no more of it. We can't take any more of it. 5 years in the parliament and the speaker will tell you you can't use corruption when corruption is the theme of the day. 5 years, my friends, 5 years with the PPPC government. I tell you what, the APNU has a plan for you. And our plan is saying, come September 1st, when we palm them out on the stroke of a pen, teachers are going to receive 35% salary increases. Nurses will receive 35% salary increases. And let me tell you, that is not the talks yet with their unions. That's 35% off the bat. And then we will come again with our collective bargaining, and we will bargain again for our teachers and our nurses and our public servants. And when we bargain for them and they receive their increases, our policemen and women will get their increases too. I want to tell you, this country has enough space for every single one of us. And so it means that under an APNU government, you are going to be valued. We will ensure that you get not only house lots, but we put in place the rent-to-own house scheme. We would ensure that our teachers are comfortable in their schools. We will ensure that our children are safe in schools. We will ensure that when you visit the hospitals, you wouldn't have to go there and wait long in a line. But we are going to ensure that our hospitals are equipped with all the necessary equipment so that when you go there, you don't have to take a walk over to Balwansing or Woodlands or some one of the other hospitals, because our hospitals will be fully equipped. You see, we are not like the other people who make a big show and then they have to move equipment from here to there and to there. We are not like that. We always have a plan. And when we execute our plan, it is well executed. I want to say to you, education will be on the rise after September 1st. Under the APNU government, we are going to revamp the entire curriculum. And we will start from early childhood. Because there's a saying that says, if you don't have a good foundation, then the building can't stand tall. So we will start from the bottom and ensure that our children, from early childhood, they have a good foundation. We will ensure that by the time our children are ready to leave nursery school, they can identify letters, they can read 2 sentences, they can write, and they know how to socialize and to respect each other. We will ensure that our children are not plagued with the viruses that the PPP is sharing all across this country. We will ensure that our country is clean so that our children can grow healthy and develop into productive citizens. I want to say to you, you know, the PPP go around everywhere and they behave as if they started governing this country from 2020. But we must remind them that when they took government in 1992, we had all the schools in place. We had the multilateral schools. We had the community high schools. We had the regular secondary schools. We had exercise books. You remember that? Exercise books with Burnham's picture on it. You remember we had Cerex and hot milk in school and biscuit. So when they come around now and talk about hot meal and snacks and all kind of craziness, we have to tell them you're copying from us because they don't have any plan of their own. I want to remind you, comrades and friends, that under the PNC, we had free education from nursery to university. Who removed that? The PPP removed that because they wanted to punish you and your children for a lifetime. Friends, we've got to remove the PPP. They're an oppressive government. They're a deceitful government. They're distasteful and disrespectful, and we got to remove them. We don't want them. Every time, if you recall, every time the PPP sit in government, tragedy for Guyana. Every time they sit in government, if it's not a drug bust, it's a murder. It's a drive-by shooting. It's something at the hospital. It's something somewhere else. Every time they come into government. And this is saying to us that these people have, 1, no plan, and 2, they can't run a government. But what they are versed in, and we know that, is corruption. They know how to thief. And so when you look around your communities, you're going to see roads being done here, roads being done there, roads being done everywhere. And if we could have eaten roads, then many, but we can't eat roads. And while roads and doing construction and building other roads is good, it is the manner with which these are done. One road done today and tomorrow morning it break up because it's all about the family, friends, and the favorites, and they don't know how to do anything. But the PPP believe that they can always come around and buy you. And so we have to look at them. We've got to watch them because they're going to come to your communities. They've started doing it already and identifying 1 or 2 persons in your community and giving them a little small change. You know, you never get the whole loaf. You always get the crumbs. And so we got to tell them, Burnham has taught us how to make rice flour, and so we can make whole bread. We don't want crumbs. We know how to bake our whole bread, loaves of bread, and that's what we will do. We know how to plant and reap and eat, and that is what we will do. You know, the PPP come around every time and they tell you that they're a caring government, and because we care, and so they're coming to you and giving your children $55,000. Let me tell you, collect your $55,000 because it's yours. Collect it. But we have in our manifesto $120,000 that we will give to your children. In addition to that, your children would be given every single resource that is necessary for them to use in school. So don't bother and make a whole lot of noise about the $35,000, the $55,000. $55,000 is a sham, because all the time they weren't concerned about you, but it's elections time now. On a regular, we would have the school grants coming just before school reopened. You see how early you collected it? The thing that could fool us. The thing that could fool us. But we are going to say to them, we beg and we got sense. So we will collect our monies and then we will vote them out. Comrades, the PPP is no good for Guyana. And for Guyana to grow, the PPP must go. We will put the oil monies in your pockets because we are about care. We put you first. We put your children first. We put our young adults first. We put our seniors first. Could you imagine this government, if it weren't for the David Granger administration, our senior citizens would not have been seeing the kind of pension they're seeing today. It's shame make they raise it. Shame. But let me tell you, we have $100,000 that we will give to our senior citizens. And more than that, when our senior citizens go out there to receive their pensions, they wouldn't have to line up in long lines. They're not going to be falling down because of the hot sun. We are going to ensure that they are as comfortable can be. You know, it's a dangerous thing when you don't have respect for your elders. The Bible tells us that we must respect our elders. But the PPP, they got respect for nobody. Nobody. Because if they had respect for us, you wouldn't see Nigel Dharamlal's name on that list again. His name would never be there. You wouldn't see Susan Rodriguez doing the things that she is doing. You wouldn't see it. But you know what? I am happy because they're getting confused. Desperation stepping in. So you hear Amir talking out the whole story. Amir Ahmad talking out the whole story. They got plenty more stories to come. But we are going to remain focused because we have an elections to win. And I want to say to you that all of these acts of corruption, we are going to fix them when we get into office. They will account for every single dollar that they would have squandered. We will fix it. Comrades, as the government in waiting, we have decided that we will review many of what the PPP would have done. You see the jokey promotions that they give to the policemen? Now we know that there is always a pattern or a system in place when promotions are done. Now promoting persons is good, but the manner in which they do it sometimes and many times is what is not right. So we will say to our servicemen and women, take the promotions, but put your eggs the right place. And we love you, servicemen and women. We want you to understand that we value you. And so come September 1st and onwards, we will put systems in place to ensure that you are well trained, so that when you go out there to interact with our citizens in the society, you will know how to speak with them properly. You will know how to conduct your investigations because you would have been trained to do that. And we will not allow corruption or anybody to cover up when there's a crime, because whoever does the crime, they will have to face the consequences for us. And that is what we will set out to do. So whether it's a minister, we will ensure that they too face the penalty for any wrong act that they have done, any corruption they get involved in. But I want to say this bit more to you. We got a whole lot of people parading on the stage, on the red side. And there's a young man by the name of, well, I don't know if he's young or he's old, but there's a man by the name of Mark Light. And teachers who are in the midst here, let me tell you, that man has no decency. That man is as corrupt just as the people that he joined with. You know, he deceived the teachers for 75 days. And at the end of it, after submitting a proposal for 39.5%, he collected 10%. Well, I don't know how much he collected behind the door or wherever, but he agreed to 10% salary increase, 8% salary increase, and 9% salary increase. I don't know where you ever hear something like that. But I want to say to you that under the APNU government, we are going to revisit that. So teachers, I want to say to you, a vote for the PPP is a vote for more corruption and many more 75 days. A vote for the PPP is a vote for Mark Light and more deception and plenty more deception. Nurses, I want to say to you, a vote for the PPP is a vote for oppression. A vote for the PPP is a vote for not having equipment in the hospitals. A vote for the PPP means that you're going to be stymied all the days of your life. And so, nurses, I have to remind you that your X must go next to the palm. Your X must go right next to the palm. I want to say to our policemen, to our public servants, if you vote for the PPP, you're voting for another 5 years of rape and sodomizing of our children. If you vote for the PPP, you're voting for another 5 years of 20 more indigenous lives going down the drain. If you vote for the PPP, we are going to have plenty more Adriana Young. And so I warn you tonight and I say, go for the APNU, the people who have you at heart. Vote for the palm. And lastly, I want to say to you, comrades, this elections is about serious business. This elections is not jokey business. This elections is about ensuring that your sons and your daughters and your granddaughters and your uncles and your aunts and everybody come out and vote. We have to ensure that we walk the streets on elections day and get them out to vote. We must ensure that after we are finished voting, that we stick around after a while when this place starts getting a little late, because we know what they will do. If we don't be alert, we will see again dead people voting. And we've recognized that the stage has already been set for that to happen, but we will stamp it out because this is not 2020. I want to say to you, comrades, Mark Light already gets stamped out. I want to say to you, comrades, this elections on September 1st, the APNU and you and me, we're on our way to victory. And no one will stop the train from moving on. So let me see you put up the peace. Let me see you put up your victory sign. Let me see you put up that victory sign. Let me see you put that victory sign. Because we are going to be marching to victory. Much more than that, in the first time in the history of this country, we have an indigenous woman who is going to be standing there as the prime ministerial candidate. And this is because we care about our people and we don't look at race and color and creed and whether you're going to wear a green t-shirt. We look at people who are efficient, people who are intelligent, and persons who care about people. So come September 1st, we are voting Coretta Finance. Come September 1st, we are voting Ganesh Mahipal. Come September 1st. Come September 1st. You're voting for yourself and you're voting for me. Come September 1st, Comrades, I want to tell you, you're voting for a man with integrity. Come September 1st, my friends, you're voting for a man who is not corrupt. Come September 1st, you're voting for a man who got all the tricks and all the tactics and all the strategies right there, waiting to implement them. Come September 1st, we are voting for President Aubrey Compton Norton. And when you vote for Aubrey Compton Norton and his team, that team will lead you to the promised land where we would be able to enjoy the wealth of this nation. God bless you.
Parfaite Harmonie, who for president? I can't hear you, Parfaite Harmonie, who for president? One more time, Parfaite Harmonie, who for president? So listen to me. It is time for us to root out this flagrant venal administration. And the only way we can do so is by placing your mark next to the, where will we be placing our mark on September 1? Next to the palm, we are voting for Coretta Vanessa Finance. We will be voting for Ganesh Mahipal, and most of all, we will be voting for a man without a blemish, and his name is none other than Aubrey Compton Norton. The pleasure is mine to introduce to us another speaker. Listen to me, Parfaite Harmonie. This young man hails from Richmond, Region 3. He has been a member of the PNCR for 17 long years. This tireless servant of the people is a voice that echoes in Parliament. His voice also echoes on the streets. This is a man who stands firm when others fold and buckle. Parfaite, from the grassroots to the highest mountains, help me welcome none other than the Honorable Ganesh Mahipal.
I feel y'all know my speech already, man. La Parfaite Harmonie, good night. It's good to be in your company. You know, I came here with a prepared speech in my head. But when I came, I interacted with a group of young people. About 12 of them were assembled underneath the bus shed. And what they said to me changed the direction in which I was going to speak to you. I was so moved to first of all see about 12 young people, all below the age of 25, and saying to me that Guyana is right now a very corrupt country.
It tells me that the young people are well informed and they know what is going on. One of them asked me if we found the Sioux. I told him that I believe Sioux moved from Jack Deo's living room and is now comfortable in his bedroom. But I want all of you to know that after September the 1st, when you elect the APNU, we will find Sioux, because Sioux got to Susu. And when he Susu, we need to know how much really he benefited, his friends benefited, his family benefited, his favorites benefited, and most of all, how much did Jagdiho benefited. Our country cannot continue to be plastered worldwide and dubbed as a corrupt country. We have to make a change. So I heard just now when our sessional chair said that on September 1st, you will be voting for Ganesh, Coretta, and our President Aubrey. But I am saying to you that on September 1st, you will be voting for yourself. You will be voting for yourself. You will be voting to put back power in your own hands. You will be voting for the empowering of you and your family. You will be voting for a Guyana where you will have servants. Because the APNU, we are servants to our people. We do not believe that we must be on a pedestal way above you, our ordinary citizens. We are just as ordinary as you. And as you know, Aubrey Compton Norton has always been grassroots oriented, and nothing will change him from being grassroots oriented. A grassroots leader is a leader who understands his people, who struggles with his people, and who is prepared to develop his people. We will not be having a leader that seems to believe that he has to be way above the ordinary people. Our ordinary people are our majority. And our ordinary people as our majority deserve to be put first. And that is why Aubrey Compton Norton and his team crafted a people-centered development program. A people-centered development program. Comrades, a people-centered development program is about you. It's about putting you first. For too long, Guyana has been struggling to put their own people first. It is about time we move in that direction. I want to tell the senior citizens who are present here, the senior citizens who are present here, I speak directly to you. When you vote September 1st for the APNU, you are voting for $100,000 as your pension. And that pension will be paid to you as soon as the people-centered development budget is passed. And that will definitely be something that you will enjoy. In Guyana, we are too rich. We are too rich as a nation to be so poor as a people. I want to tell you that for too long, our senior citizens had to engage in moonlighting. Too long, our senior citizens have to be finding jobs at night. Some of them as security officers. And instead of them getting to enjoy their family and getting to enjoy their grandchildren and getting to live a comfortable life, they have to be engaged in making money so that they can survive. Well, we are going to give you a livable income so that you can have a long, healthy, and prosperous life with your family in your senior citizen age. I want to tell the working population in the public service and the private sector, I want you to know that when you vote on September the 1st and you vote for APNU, you are voting for us to raise the income tax threshold to $400,000. To $400,000. That simply means that once you are earning below $400,000, you will not be subject to pay as you earn, or PAYE. And that means that you are increasing your disposable income. You are putting more money into your pockets, and you will be having the opportunity to spend more. So you will be lifting your lives and the lives of your family. We will also be raising minimum wage. Minimum wage will go to $200,000. Comrades, we did it before in 2015 and we will do it again. Let me remind you, because some of us seem to forget. Some of us seem to forget. So let me remind you. In 2015, when the APNU came to government, minimum wage was $35,000. There were people who were working for $35,000 in 2015. Are you tell me, Mala, you know? By the time we demitted office in 2020, it went to $70,000. We did that without oil. With oil now, and with diversification of our economy, with the reduction of corruption, you can guarantee yourself that it will go to $200,000. Many of you, if you have a friend or a family member that was a sweeper cleaner in our school system, if you have a sweeper cleaner in the school system, they would tell you that in 2015, they were getting $17,000. $17,000. If I lie, now you tell me I lie. 17,000. When we left office in 2020, they were receiving $70,000. We moved them from being paid next to nothing and placed them on the pensionable establishment and gave them a salary at that time that was livable. And come 2025, September, they can guarantee themselves $200,000. That would be minimum wage. Comrades, what I am saying to you here is about putting money into your pockets. It's about putting the resources into your pockets. So I'm saying again, on September the 1st, you will be voting for yourself. You will not be voting only for the APNU. You will be voting for yourself. You will be empowering yourself. You will be strengthening yourself. You know, Irfan is a real dunce, you know. A real dunce. And here is not we the Kalia dunce, you know. Let me refresh your memory. When he was exposed as a dunce, when he was exposed as someone who fraudulently acquired a degree, when he was exposed as someone who went to the University of Iflot, it wasn't the PNC people. It was never the PNC people who exposed him. Y'all remember? It's somebody from the PPP who they expose him. And I tell people then, and I'm telling y'all now, when Huri come from Creek Bottom and he tell you say Patwaga fever, you got to believe him. You got to believe him. If somebody come from the belly of the PPP and they say Irfan is a dunce, we got to believe him. And you know, we verified that he's a dunce because onto a day like today, I don't think he could pronounce the word. Why they say rapper, and Jack Dio, the old thief, watch it like this. This one nonsense this man saying here. To this day, he can't pronounce that word. But let me tell you something. He went to Anna Katrina last night. Y'all see he went to Anna Katrina? And he said how they're opening the first of its kind as a day and night daycare center. That was a lie. It was a lie. And I will tell you the truth here tonight. This same man, Aubrey, come to Norton during the period 2015 to 2020. He spearheaded a project that was financed through BNTF, Basic Needs Trust Fund, conceptualized and rationalized and brought into being through his stewardship 6 early childhood development centers in this country. 6 of them were constructed without oil money. The one that is located at Lenora Hospital Road. Are you ever see him? Y'all ever see him? That one was opened in 2018. I can speak comfortably about it because I was a member on the board that served to make sure that that facility dedicated itself to day and night service. In 2018, we began day and night service at that early childhood facility at Lenora. Its name is Anna Katrina Early Childhood Development Center. And the reason why it has that name is because at the time they were going to place it in Anna Katrina, but the space, that the land that was there was not sufficient. And that's how they moved it to Lenora. So I can tell you about it. And I want you to know that what they built there the other day and commissioned yesterday is not the first of its kind. 6 of it existed in Guyana before. But this government is playing psychological warfare. This government, this corrupt regime, these Nakavakamites, they are playing a psychological warfare. You see all them flags all over? Is me and you money by it. Me and you money by it. So they're trying to play with our minds. You see the big fancy bus, what they got with screen going around, putting them 3 dunces up, is me and you money. Me and you money spending there. You see how they're fetching crowd from crowd to crowd? They hire a boat, Malali, for carry people to Wakenham because they can't get a crowd. It's me and you money paying for it. If this government was a good government, then people would not have been rejecting them. And they're being rejected because they're nasty, they're wicked, they stink, they're dirty, and they're corrupt. And I'm saying to you, after 5 years with oil, after 5 years with oil, look at what we had. Look at what we had with 5 years. 5 years of the PPP, look at what we had. The first thing we had is a set of murders. A set of murders. The PPP in office is murder. The Henry Boys, Harish Singh, Quindon Bacchus are in Boston, Keon Fudgeny, Ronaldo Peters, Adriana Young, and there are several other that we don't know about. And you listen to what Dexter Todd said. We will have a special office that will be open so that these parents that are seeking justice can come and register their complaint. They can come and register their story, and we will deliver justice to them. We will deliver justice to them. Too many of our Guyanese mothers and fathers are crying bitter tears in a Guyana when they're supposed to be happy. The PPP is just notorious, wicked, stink, and dirty. Comrades, I don't want to stand between you and our main speaker, but I want to tell you this. In Parfaite Harmonie, in La Parfaite Harmonie, when we were in government, we built an early special needs school. You know that? The first special needs school in this country was built by us without oil, and it's right here in Parfaite Harmonie. The nursery school for Parfaite Harmonie was built by us. The secondary school in Westminster began construction with us. You know those things? The health center had no proper roads. We had to put asphaltic concrete roads there. You know them things? Drainage and irrigation was a major problem. We had 4 mini excavators cleaning out Parfaite Harmonie. You know them things? Comrades, we were always for you. We were always for you. We will still be for you. And we will ensure that we understand that our role in government is to be your servant. Any good leader, listen to me, any good leader, and this man is a good leader. Any good leader is a great servant. Any good leader is a great servant. I say to you, 1 in every 1 person in the PPP government, 1 in every 1 person in the PPP government is corrupt. All of them corrupt, every single one. I told the young group that I spoke to, about the 12 of them, I told them, and I'm ending on this point. They said to me that they're hoping for a change. They said they're hoping for a change. I said to them, don't hope, go and vote for it. Go and vote for it. And I want to tell you that each one of you, you have a responsibility. You have a responsibility. I can't do this alone, you know. Coretta cannot do it alone. Aubrey cannot do it alone. Coretta, Dexter, and all the others who spoke to you, they can't do it alone. You have a responsibility to help us to get it done. You have a responsibility to help us get it done. And I say to you, work with us, move with us, rally with us, and on September 1st, bring out everybody that you know, convince them, and let them see that this is your time. And we will make it better for you. It is all about putting you first, putting every one of us first. For Guyana to grow, the PPP must go. Vote for the palm. Vote for the palm. And as my friends want to hear, don't vote fuck up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't know if I can sing like Ganesh, but he said, don't vote out. I can't hear you, don't vote out. Fuck up. How we voting? How we voting? How we voting? Perfect, how we voting? So we not voting fuck up. Hear this. We have to fix it. We must get it right. And the only way we will get it right is by palming them out. This is the only way we will get it right. We have to go out early, September 1. Leave your homes early. Listen, now wait for tea and fancy thing for eat and so. Get up, come out early and thing. Tell the wife he fix up. As a matter of fact, prepare the thing the night before. Put it in the fridge. Because we leaving home early. We have to ensure we set the tone. You hear me, Parfaite? We are setting a tone. You know, it's not every big head got sense. But we have a leader. You hearing me, Parfaite? We have a leader who is intelligent. We have a leader who knows what he is about to do. We have a leader who believes in good leadership. We have a leader who will take leadership in that capacity and translate the vision into reality. I ain't hearing you, Parfaite. Listen to me. We going to the poll. We going to the poll in rebellion. You hear me, Parfaite? We going to the poll with passion. We going to the poll remembering Adriana Young. We going to the poll remembering all the young men and women who are incarcerated right now under this corrupt regime. But I am not the final speaker. Hear me out. I am now going to introduce to you a man. This man is not a pastor. I said this man is not a pastor. He different from Mark Light. So whatever he comes here and says tonight, we can hold him accountable to his words. I have the honor and the privilege to introduce to you this man. Comrades, in moments like these, when the souls of this nation is on the line and the cries of the people are being loud, we have a man who has been listening to the cries of the people of Guyana. Listen to me, people. This man has tested every fire. He hasn't been jumping ships, and he has no intention to jump. This man is not just a politician from the mining tongue of Linden. He is a revolutionary. You're hearing me? A relentless fighter with over 50 years of political experience. A man with integrity. And no, his name is not on the list of corruption. No, he's not being sanctioned. Hear me. His vision is one of certainty and ambitious man with viable plans for the people of this nation. This man, do you know him? Parfaite, you know the man I'm talking about? Musician, give me a song. You know this man I'm talking about? Please put some song as I introduce to you none other than dear Honorable Aubrey Compton Norton, the man with a plan of inclusivity of all the people, the man who intends to put all the people first.
Good evening, Parfaite Harmonie. It's an especial pleasure to be here. We are meeting at a time when Guyana is in deep trouble. We're meeting at a time when crime is on the increase. We are meeting at a time when the cost of living is rising. We're meeting at a time when a lot of Guyanese are in poverty. I said to you this evening, we have developed a people-centered development strategy aimed at taking the Guyanese people out of poverty. My friends, poverty is a crime. It is unimaginable that a country that is dubbed the fastest growing economy in the world has more than 40% of its people living in poverty. That is unacceptable. The question becomes, why are we in poverty? There are a number of reasons for which the people of Guyana are in poverty. One of them is because the government intentionally drafts policies to keep them in poverty. One of the greatest things the PPP fear is independent people who can think on their own and act on their own. For the PPP, Guyanese must be dominated and controlled. We have a different approach. We believe that the Guyanese people are a hardworking, honest people, and they deserve better. But unfortunately, we have a government that is incompetent. And I want to delve a little on their incompetence. Every time somebody tells me about Jack Deo, the only thing I see is failure, a bald-headed failure. The man has no successful project to his name. When you have a man that purports to run a country and everything he touches fails, then you know you're in trouble. This is the man who promised us that Skeldon Sugar Factory would have saved the sugar industry. It killed the sugar industry. This is a man who said that they're going to run a fiber optic cable across this country. And when it is completed, there will be increased internet access. Well, the cable never came to life. The cable left in the ground and our money went to waste. This is a man who promised that he was going to build a modern packaging factory at Enmore. Up until now, it has packed nothing. We're saying to you that one of the biggest problems this country has is that it has an incompetent government.
A government that knows only to steal. When you want to see this government perform, look at corruption. When you look at how corrupt this government is, you understand their qualifications. Irfan doesn't have to have a degree. He just have to lack the decency and dignity to govern Guyana properly. We're saying to you, this government is incompetent. We're saying to you that this government is corrupt. You know, I listened to the bald-head rat. And the bald-head rat says, he says, oh, don't worry, APNU and Norton, they're selling you dreams. Let me say this. All the measures we recommend and put into the people of Guyana could be financed. We have said to you, we will give pensioners $100,000. You want me to tell you a truth? The money they waste on critic could pay the bill 2 times. So I'm saying to you, if we reduce waste, we can pay for these programs. They ask us, how you going to do a rent to own? Well, let me tell them, Burnham did it. Other countries did it. It is only because you are incompetent, you cannot do it. We are going to build houses in this country. We are going to put people to live in them. They will pay a rent. And when the rent covers the cost of the house will become theirs. That is all we mean. That is all we mean when we say we will have a rent-to-own program. We have got a situation where many people cannot afford rent. They cannot afford mortgage. And all we have said to the people of Guyana is that you will get support. You will have rent and mortgage assistance to help you to get a home. There is no crime in putting money in the people's pocket. There is no crime whatsoever. If we can give big companies that got money tax-free things, why is it we cannot allow people in Guyana to enjoy some of those benefits? We're saying to you that under the APNU, you will benefit and benefit significantly. You know, this government has no idea of its own. When I saw Irfan say opening the first night and day center, I thought that this man is not only a liar, he's barefaced. Because years ago under the APNU, as Ganesh said, we opened 6 of them. And that was without oil money. The problem the PPP has is that it does not believe in people. They believe in getting rich at the expense of people. We are saying to you, the resources from this country must go back to the people, and the APNU will ensure it goes back to the people. Sometimes I feel sad. This education system has failed our young people. This education system has failed our young people. The government's approach also failed young people. You know, the PPP places people in a position where they are in need. They deprive people of resources so that when they come and give you a little pittance, you appear to want it because you're in a bad situation. I say this to the people. Whatever money they bring, take it. It's yours. But be sensible. Put your X next to the pan. A vote for the People's Progressive Party is a vote for corruption. A vote for the People's Progressive Party is a vote for incompetence. A vote for the People's Progressive Party is a wasted vote. Guyanese in these elections must vote for policies that will allow them to develop. And we're saying to you, we have policies to allow you to develop. We have been speaking to this government for the last 4 years about the high cost of living. And because the president didn't go to a proper university and doesn't know anything proper, including economics, he couldn't come up with proposals. We said to them, we are going to have in every region sustainable agriculture. Let us not fool ourselves. Oil will come and go. And we have to take the resources from oil and invest it in agriculture. We must produce the food we need so that there is food around and it helps to bring down the cost of living. We must take the oil resources and develop cheap electricity. Let me remind you, when we conceptualize the gas to energy project, it was conceptualized, and at the time it would have cost $900 million. The PPP's incompetence, their dilly-dallying, their corruption has now, after years, put the price at $2 billion. You are talking about 1.1 billion additional spending. That is a manifestation of corruption. Are you going to plan to buy a car? And when you start, the car was $1 million. And you dilly-dally till it needs 10 million? Only an incompetent set of people will do that. And so we're saying to you that we offering you a competent team. You know, when I heard Jack Dale, who I consider to be an economist, because he has shown no ability in the field of economics. The man, when you raise a sensible economic point, it's not like if he's going to try and analyze it, he lifts up his frock and views. We have invited him many times to let us talk about the issues in Guyana, but he doesn't want that. He likes abuse out. That's why I tell people his mother had foresight when she named him Bharat Rosanna Jagdeo. Impeccable and unbelievable foresight. She could not have seen it much better. And so we must understand that we are led by incompetent people. And we have to change that. We in the APNU, we are offering you a list of competent people. I asked Bharat Jagdeo who he is going to put from his list side by side with Dr. Todd. Surely not Anil. I hear he don't be sober long enough. I asked him who he's going to put next to Terence Campbell. Lord, have mercy. Can't find one. I asked him who you're going to put next to Dr. Williams. I know he can come up with one of them patients he got calling ministers. The truth of the matter if you are looking for a competent team to govern this country, I said to you, the APNU has put together one of the most diverse and competent lists that can run Guyana. You know, I don't hate people. There is no one I hate. But I also don't like stupid people. You know, I don't like stupid people. And sometimes it worries me because you have in this country a government that comes over as stupid. Any child in this country would know. If you got problems with the Demerara Harbor Bridge and you're building a new bridge, one would assume that you will do it in a way that you don't add to the traffic confusion. Not them at all. Sometimes I believe it's donkey in charge. They are taking that bridge and throwing all of the vehicles on the Heroes Highway. Apart from the fact that they build it good, they are going to give us a slow motion road. And that is what worries me. Because one would have thought that a government with common sense will know when you're investing in infrastructure, you want to improve the lives of the people. You want them to be moving faster. You want them to be safer. But they put a man who's at the edge of the hill. If you are the edge of the hill and we put you for doing infrastructure, the first vibration, you're going to fall off. Now, I hear Jack Doe wall up in his mouth saying, I like Ejil can't go back. Basically, none of y'all will go back. Guyana needs a new government. Guyana needs a government that can manage this country. We are looking to a Guyana in which all Guyanese feel they are part and parcel of the society. This government has shown from day one that they have no sense of decency. They have no sense of fairness. A man pull out the pink slip from COVID-19 and tell me, I'm still waiting on this money. People like they forget. We were managing COVID properly. They came, they said I had a plan. And when they decided they're going to do the relief, it was so discriminatory in nature, a lot of people left with pink slips. My friends, these elections are about the future of Guyana. We want a Guyana in which all Guyanese feel they are included. We don't want this Guyana that Irfan Ali has. A Guyana in which some people have plenty and the majority has none. That cannot be the society. He's annoyed when I talk about the wage increases. But I say to the Guyanese, you could look forward to proper wage increases. And I say this to you. The higher up you are, you will get less. The lower down you are, you will get more. That is equity. That is what we are looking for. Why is it a Guyanese worker who is working for $100,000, when that worker gets 10% increase, it's $10,000, and you give the president the same increase, but he's getting $3 million, it means he's getting $300,000. What that translates into is that for 1 month, he will get 3 times or more of the ordinary man. And so we will relook the wages and salaries, and we will relook the increases, so that when the increases come, the people who need it most get more. That is what we promise you. You know, I laugh every time. I laugh every time I see Ramson and company turn up to greet a successful athletics team. And let me tell you why I laugh. When these athletes are preparing to go overseas, you find a situation in which they have to roam the streets begging for assistance to represent the country. And when they succeed, the thing what I got as a minister, it turns up as if he would have contributed. If you are a minister of government and you're dealing with sport, you should do the things to make the lives of athletes comfortable. We are saying to you that under an APNU government, all athletes, national athletes, will be sponsored. They will get the resources they need to perform. We don't want to turn up to celebrate the successes after we put pressure on them. And this is what we mean by a people-centered government. We are going to be a government that is focused on putting resources in the hands of people. They ask us, how are you going to finance these things you're offering? We will cut your corruption. We will cut your waste. Additionally, we will invest in young people in business. We will give them grants. We will give them soft loans so that they can do business. And when young people are doing business, you will have an increase in income in the society. They have a backward approach. They believe that when they put money in the hands of the ordinary man, it will empower them and they can't control them. We have a different view. When you empower people, when you give them wealth, those people become independent, they generate employment, and there is money circulating in the economy. And that is what we intend to do. I see today Irfan are one of them distributing bicycles to school children. The man doesn't have a brain of his own. He believes that people forget that is David Granger did it. He abandoned buses and bicycles. And now he coming dancing out of time. So he handing over bicycles. We are saying to you, we believe in the children in this country. And we're going to establish a national schools transportation system that allows our children to go to school. There's no sense in saying you build in 1,000 schools and then the children do not have the wherewithal to go. Our intention is to ensure our children are in school. I remember saying that when we give grants or transfer to children, we want them in school. Priya Manik Chan jump up and say, you see, he put in conditions on the money. Yes, we will put conditions on the money. The money is not for people to do the nails. It's not for them to do the toe. It's for them to prepare their children so that they can go to school. Because when a child is in school, when a child succeeds, then we are talking about development. We are not going to develop if our children continue to fail. But if anyone mind, he's a failure himself. Some of them, when you see they operate, you know they can't pass common entrance. I ain't calling name. I would never mention it. I would never call it. We have got to ensure that our children get the best education. As a government, we will invest in the people of Guyana. It must be the laugh of the century that we got to bring drivers from Bangladesh and India. It makes no sense. In 8 weeks, you could train a driver. And then you could have that driver with a senior driver learning, etc. So why is it that we are importing drivers when we have high unemployment? It speaks to the folly of this government. Our intention is to train our young people. We will give them technical and vocational training so that they develop the skills to survive in this society. Our people are our greatest assets. You build a hospital and you got to close down the next one, forget people for it, and it in full. You know that is what they did? They built a hospital at West Coast Babies and removing all the people from Fort Wellington, etc. A hospital is not a building, or not only a building. A hospital is a building. It must have qualified doctors and nurses. It must have the required equipment to deliver medical care. What they are doing is thieving. If you build a building, perks. You ever heard the word perquisites? Must check it. They are interested in the perquisites of life, the perks that come from their illegal activities. And so we will have a different approach. I promise you that we will return Guyana to honesty. The major task before us as a country is to return Guyana to honesty. Is to return Guyana to decency. It is to return Guyana to law and order. It is sad that in a country like Guyana, even when you try to use technology, you can't succeed. You know why? Simple. When PPP people commit a crime, camera don't work. Camera stop work all of a sudden. When them little boy commit a crime, camera work. Well, I say this to you. I am not a supporter of petty crimes. But the real criminals are protected by the system. And we need to change that. We need to ensure those who rob our country face the consequences of their robbery. One left Mahipal on a bicycle, he's a billionaire. The other one left Lenora with nothing, he also is a billionaire. I have challenged them. If they can put their wealth against their legal income and it stand up, I would resign. They are corrupt. Guyana needs change. Guyana needs a government that will focus on the people of Guyana. Guyana needs a government that wants to see our people develop. I close by saying this to you. We are going to put money in the hands of the people of Guyana. We are going to train the human resources to ensure Guyana develops. And we said to you, we genuinely believe that if Guyana is to grow, the PPP must go. I want to urge you not only to put your X next to the palm, but to remember you have to vote twice. The first time for the general elections and the second time for the regional elections. And we ask you to vote for us, not to get rich, but to be of service to you. And I said to you, I cherish my integrity. And I've said regularly, if my integrity could be challenged, I wouldn't be the presidential candidate. I'm the presidential candidate because my integrity stands out. I have the kind of qualifications that allow me to govern Guyana. And I say this to you, Don't worry, nonsense, the talking. I went to a reputable university in England. If you go online and check the university, you will see it is reputable. I am no product of a non-existent university. And so I said to you, let us work together. Let's advance this cause together. Let's work to eradicate poverty from this society and give the Guyanese people a high quality life. That is my pledge to you. Good evening. Good night, and may the Lord bless you.
If you think like you don't understand.